Friends, welcome to the Kathopanishad session. We are meeting after Diwali. I think, hope you all had a wonderful Diwali. I think we will also be going through the first part of Kathopanishad. The first 5 mantras, they are being bundled together, because to give a particular concept. After that, the next 3 mantras, they are going to give a further different concept. In all of them, it is not unknown to us. We have discussed, but then it also gives a new dimension of understanding. They are elaborating further because Upanishad is something which takes layer after layer, like onion. Because the first few layers we have taken out, because as we go inside, because it will be more subtle. Because subtle is the one where you will have to go through by leaving, because when you take a layer out, we will be explaining during the course of the discussion what it needs to go layer after the layer. Even psychoanalysis and even the neurologists, whatever they are doing, they are trying to understand the layers only and then try to arrive at the finally the supposed to be core, because no one is able to get to the core per se, but everyone is trying to get as far as possible into the core to understand the human mind, the human behavior, and the human existence. This is how all the philosophies have attempted. And of course, our Sanatana Dharma has gone several sort of a dimensions ahead of all others, in terms, because we had so many people who had applied their thought and then left the thought as it is and transcended their thoughts in various points of time. And all of them have been available in the form of the rare treasure ever anyone could get, in the form of the Vedas. And of course, Upanishads. Upanishads are nothing but Vedantas, supposed to be at the end part of the Veda, but they are also in the beginning of the Veda as well as the middle of the Veda and all. We will also see the significance of that. We will straight away go into the Kathopanishad today. Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namaha. Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyadi Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibuddha Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadanarasya Kritavan Bhuvidatva Vadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Ananda Tirtha Munivaryam Namami Pujyaya Raghavendraya Satyadharmarataya Cham Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadhenve Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So far what we have given is, because it is not unknown, because we have discussed earlier in this Upanishad itself, in the last 3 vallis of the first Adhyaya, and this is the 4th valli and first valli of the 2nd Adhyaya. It is only elaborated whatever has been done with a little more clarity, because we had just seen what are all this. We had the tools, but we are now sharpening the tools and trying to use it for our own elevation. That's what is going to happen now onwards. So one of the things what we said, first mantra, because we saw, because the first mantra, first valli, just for the purpose of recap only. Paranchikani Vyatarnat, because when all our senses have been kept in such a way, it is only outgoing. Because likewise, and if you have electricity in the house, when you construct a house, what happens? You give the wiring and you draw and you get apply for the connection and you get the electricity, because the electricity is required for you. Whether you are going to use the heater or whether you are going to fridge or whether you are going to use the geyser or anything like that, you need the basic power. It is like consciousness. You need the electricity first. The electricity has to be available. But how it is going to be used is depending upon the equipments you are going to put in. We are like equipments. We have got different qualities and attitudes. Some of them may be us like a mixture, a mixie. Some of us like maybe TV, because we will be having, some of us maybe like a chatterbox, radio. We will be giving more sound, because each one of us have got our own attitude, because we are all equipments. It's all made our way, our own thoughts. our own sort of accumulation of attitudes, thoughts, and knowledge which you have accumulated all over. So we may be first, we will be able to function only with the electricity. Just a minute. See, entire, because the our all these things are outgoing. Because we are all we are having a different attitude. Some of us, may be light. We may be able to glow when the electricity is there, because that is the only function which finally, when you see, when the light is glowing, it is able to self-actuate yourself by giving the power. Because that's what finally we are looking up. When you go into a new building, when you have electrification, and when you don't know where the switches are there and what are all the functions, you will be groping for the switch, and finally you will try to find the switch and switch it off and switch it on. When you switch it on, till then, you will not be able to see what are all the objects in the room. The moment, you put the power on, then the light is there and you are able to see what is available in the room. Till then, it is not visible to us. And once it is visible, you try to find, because what is the use of it, whether it will be of some use to us, whether we can make something out of that, like that it comes. But for us, for the entire thing, the source is light. If the light is not there, we would not have seen all these things, because the light is required. But for light, the energy, electricity is required. Then only we are able to see. So when it is outgoing, the first mantra said, you are able to get across to the things, because that is what is available to you immediately. Paranchikani vetaranath tasmat param pashyati na antaratman. You are able to see that, you are able to see the objects, but not the light. You don't look into the light, when you switch on any room, you only see what is available there. Only when when you want to think over, because what is that, whether I should change the light, whether I should have a LED, because I will be able to see more clearly, whether I should increase the power, because, I am not able to see some other things which is not visible. If you are searching for something, you will try to use the particular light, to search for that. Likewise, then only you think about the light. Till then, the objects are your concern. The world is like that. Finally, when we will have to find how we are able to get that particular light, the consciousness which lights up our thoughts, and we are able to get across to the world, we are only concerned with the world. That is what is available and that is what is required at the moment. But only when you are able to sort of reflect on yourself and see, because how we are able to, supposing if the light is not on and if you are not able to see some objects, there won't be any thought about that object at all. You won't be bothered. That is what they are telling. In that case, when you are able to see, because the objects, are taking away your attention, energy, because when it's taking away attention, in the sense it takes away your thoughts. Thoughts are nothing but another manifestation of your energy. When the energy is being taken out, you are being focused and you are dissipating energy onto the things, which may be useful, which may not be useful. Certainly they have a use, but it will be used only to the extent that is required. For instance, if you have a heater or any equipment, refrigerator or anything like that, everything has got a thermostat or a control equipment. It goes beyond a certain temperature, it goes beyond certain sort of a particular intensity, it cuts off. You've got the switch breakers are there, and you've got MCBs in the house. And why it is kept? It is kept to protect that equipment, that the equipment is able to function properly. If you allow, because the equipment to function without any of these controls, it will go on, and I think it will not sustain the lifetime, whatever has been, because the expiry date, will be faster than what it is. The same thing that happens to us, because why we have been given this, this particular body and all, because we have got the ability to reflect. When you are able to reflect and you are able to do that, when you have that power, slowly once you realize, I think there is something much more than the objects what you are seeing in the room, something much more. Then only you will be getting into that, because some of the objects, which you might have, interested you long before, but afterwards, it may not have any interest to you. You may not be harping on the use of it, because you have already you sort of gone through that and you've seen what it is, and it doesn't have any interest in it. But how it doesn't have any interest? Because your interest has shifted elsewhere. Giving up the interest is not, that you give up everything and all, because something else takes over your interest, something higher interest. Because something else has come, because we don't harp on the radio, because now we have got the TV, now LED TV and other TVs have come. If someone, because you will not be, even if someone is giving free of cost the radio, you will not be taking it, because it doesn't have any interest to you. Likewise, as you go on seeing what we call, because neti, when they say, when you give up everything layer after the layer, finally you go, okay, so something else is there. What is the end of it? Something else will come, sometime later also. But then all of them, they had some functionality. They were able to give you the sound, they were able to give you the music. Now we are able to see everything and all. The purpose is, once you know the purpose for which you are using, the object will not have much of an interest. Okay, it knew what is the purpose you are using, that's all. After that, once you have used, and then you are going on finding out neti, regression, once you are regressing one after the other, finally, what is the core? What is that finally is going to interest me? Where am I going to put my interest on? Then you find there is abundance of love, energy, and peace. And Federico Faggi, what he was telling, that is available. That will come only when you are able to put your attention into the layer after the layer once you take out. As we said, the objects have the interest, and the objects, why they are interesting, they have got the tanmatras, sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, which we saw last week. They are the one which you are getting, because you feel, because it will give you some pleasant hearing, you will be able to hear some good songs, good music, and you will be able to have sabda sparsha, because the feel, you want to be with nearer to the person or nearer to the object, which gives you the comfort, or be it a car, be it a person and all. And then, you are able to see, which is, you want to go to, because outing to a seafront, you want to go to a hill station, where you will be able to see flora and fauna, and you don't want to be, having the drudgery of a life, in the city. You want to go about it. That gives you all those things will be giving you, because that gives you some freedom to see the things and understand there are so many other things what you have not seen is available into this world. Once you know that, there is still something more available. And what is that more available? Because once you reflect it, you will go on finding out, because when you go to a place, in a solitary location, where you've got everything going good and such a natural fauna and flora is there, you are able to enjoy every moment, and you just, are happy with whatever is available. You don't look for extra comfort. Then you will find slowly as something that when you are reflecting, there will be a joy without any purpose or a reason. That, because at that point of time, you don't think of a purpose, for which you will have to be joined. Because now, in the current world, we have something to be available to become happy. And if something is not available, or if I am craving for something, for which I will have to put in the effort, for I don't have the resources, then I feel, because then God has, incapacitated me with all these deficiencies, whereas He has given it in abundance to others. Those type of things will come. But once you think, yes, what is available, what we have got, and that is, because it is not a bad deal, whatever we have got is good. And whatever effort, because in Tamil there is a proverb, whatever you have worked for, you have got it. But what you have not got for is, you have not worked for that. See that, then why should I think, because when I have not worked for, but I feel, I still deserve to get that. That is where, the momentary thought, when it comes, we will have to make ourselves believe that we will have to become more deserving to what we have than what we have is not something, because it's out of the wood it has come. We are deserving, it has to come. But we have to become more deserving, because are we using the resources what is available to us at the moment? whatever was seeking, because he said that, because are we going to get something much higher than that? Are we able to do much better than that? Once you see that, and then, it all others can come, because then, you will be able to see everything, apart from your selfish interest, self-centered interest into others. The self-centered interest comes when you renounce the world also. It is a self-centered interest. Why do you renounce the world? Because you want to be, free of problems. You want to be free of all other encumbrances, and you want to renounce. Even renouncing is a selfish thought. That's why, because in the Gita it says, because the highest sort of elevated minds, that they will try to work in this world, and continuously you will be active in this world, and you will try to be, happy at every moment, in the sense, you will go on doing what you are enjoying. Unfortunately, we are not able to enjoy what you are doing, because you are doing it, because you have to do it and all. It's not that, because once you start enjoying and you do only what you enjoy, then the question doesn't arise. But how to find out? Because you just find out that whatever is not interested, don't do it, because someone else is doing it. Don't do it, because this is what has been told. So many people are advocating and all. Not what you want, you do it. And when you want to do it, and you do it, for the purpose for which you are doing it. It's not that certainly, because you will be having a goal, you will be having a purpose. The more you are nobler the goal, more nobler the purpose, and more, you want to be at a level, where you are able to see yourself, every day you are getting into a next level of elevation, that every day is an elevation. That is what, because this mantra said, Paranchikani Vyataranath Swayambhuhu, that is what the first mantra. And there also said, Kaschit Diraha Pradyakatman Ekshita, the one who is trying to find the ultimate, love, peace, and joy, which is the core which is available. They are the one, who are able to get that. It calls Diraha. And in the second mantra, he said, because then when you don't know these particular things are available to you, when we are indulging into this world with whatever this world is offering, we are like a child, because only child playing with the toy, but it will also leave the toy once it grows, because there will be other toys and other interests that will be taking over. We don't have that. Ata diraha amrtatvam vidita. Once you want to see something much higher is there, once the constant, endeavor is there. Constant endeavor is, because you just be, reflecting yourself, because you are having everything. There is ultimate, because happiness is available in yourself. When you are trying to access your own happiness, that is what, the Upanishad takes you. You have got abundant happiness available to you, stored into a sea of your heart. You are able to access that. That is exactly, because this for this particular 5 mantras are elaborating. In that process only they said Ruparasa Gandha, because they said, because all these things takes away. Once you understand the purpose for which you are doing, and once you are able to understand that, you will be able to get the best out of that, in the sense, what is that, because it doesn't mean, I should not be enjoying the life. I'm going to music programs, I'm going to the movie, I'm reading the book, all these things give me. Certainly, once you do that, once you totally mindfully do that, that is the thing it is required. When you want to read the book, get into the book, and get in whatever you want, to do it, get absorbed into this book, because certainly, you will be elevated to the level of what is available, because then when you are choosing the book, you will be choosing the right book. There will be fiction, there will be also pulp novel will all be available then. But more you see layer after layer, your interest will automatically be shifting to the level where it takes. And that when it comes, because your attitude changes, because your idea of what is happiness will also change. Till then, our idea of happiness is, what is available, comfort, and even if I don't want any discomfort, and comfort is the height of happiness, in the sense nothing will help you, because the comforts can go anytime. See, comfort of going and seeing the places suddenly for 2.5, 3 years not available from 20 to 22. We were all confined to the house, and all these Zoom and all they came, because they used it opportunity. Always, all others thought, it is they have their business is going down and all. and a few sort of the graduates, undergraduates, they prepared themselves in California and they created that Zoom, and the Zoom becomes the in thing now, whether you like it or not, because it gives you so much of potency and able to interact. They brought it into a sort of a being, the software which can be used and for the purpose of everyone. Now people are able to interact every level. Most of the meetings are taking place, most of the interactions are taking place, even one-to-one discussions are taking place. Of course, other software is also there. But likewise, because he has not, been bogged down by what has happened, but he has used it as an opportunity. When you are using that opportunity, it is helping so many people. Yes, because they have made a software, they are making the money, but then they have brought into the whole community of the world, into the communication mode. That is a great thing they did. Likewise, those type of, you will be able to do something much higher for the common good, for the common purpose. And they are also doing a lot of charities, because they are giving free. So because 40 minutes is free in all the Zooms. So that means, at least, you will be able to interact for your own purposes, because that is how they have done it. Well, what else you can think of that? Likewise, someone has thought, these ideas have come. They have not been bogged down. Likewise, Yeto no janati kimatra parisishyate. Once you know, because you have always got something more to look for, something more to be engaged in, something more to be active, you will not be bogged down. Whether you are old or retired or you are still active and you are about to, you want to retire at a young age, as a lot of youngsters are wanting, they want to retire at 40 plus or 50 plus, have a happy life. And it's not that not doing anything is not a happy life, but you have to do something which interests you, which you are active in, because a lot of, now I find a lot of youngsters are taking up some of the noble, wonderful causes. They are doing it. So even IIM graduates, they are going to the rural areas, they're starting something. And it is wonderful to see, because they don't take up for a cushy job and, because they be all end all, they are not talking like that. So all these things have come. That means, the people have understood, because at in their age, did we have that thought? Because we have been told, go for a good education and get a good job and then do further things, so that you go, places and you should get, year after year, something like that. And this is what has been told. But what is the purpose? Well, it is, of course, everyone has to do professionally also, you should do well. But what you are going to look for, that will go on change. When it doesn't change, because the purpose of life, existence, when we are existing, and we do have a purpose of existing, when we say, in this body, mind and intellect, we have been doing so many things. If you go on doing these things from birth to death, is then what is that? Because it is sort of a drudgery. But then every day will have to be new. Every moment will have to be a new. But you will have to look for the mysteries, something, you should be able to enjoy. So even some imperfections are there, you should be able to, the imperfections have got their own duty. That beauty we are not able to see because we are not able to perceive, because we are getting used to, we have already been squared up into believing this is what it is. But when you are having an open mind, when you will have an open mind only when you are able to give up your identity, because identifying particular thing, I am so and so, I look for these things only. Or, because when you think, well, I am used to, I have always been, because I never go to that place, where these things are available. Everything will be offered to you. In this world, you can't avoid. Even if you don't want, certain things will happen in front of your eyes. Will I be able to, because look, I will go away from the place, you may go from it again, something worse may be happening elsewhere, where you will go. So therefore, wherever it happens, whatever it happens, you are able to see it, because look, it happens, because then whatever little I can do, I will do it. If not, I can use it, because telling others, how best to deal with the situation, we will do it. That is how it happens. We will see how these things, because put people into the highest mode, they are able to face anything, as well as, when something happens, they are not taken away out of their feet, because they are still grounded. So this is exactly, what we call Sthita Prajna, because the great word that is being used in Gita. They say, I want to be Sthita. That's a great word, but it needs the effort. Even Arjuna says, it's not possible. He says, what is that, you are telling me, control my mind. How am I to control my mind? I find it too difficult. Every moment I think of something else comes. And Krishna says, yes, it is. Don't worry. I think by abhyasena, because every time when you are trying to reflect in the purpose, am I doing it is for this purpose? Sometimes, without aim, we are doing certain things. And we are doing it, because that I will have to do it. And likewise, I may be doing a puja. For what I am doing a puja, if I say, because my father has done it, so I am doing it, I will not get anything unless I try to do, whether I do puja or even a 5 minutes, if meditation, or to couple of minutes I spend in my prayer room, pray, whatever it is there, because then, I should be able to find the change in me. Does it have any purpose? Is it not that what my father has done or my grandfather has done, but what I am doing it? What is it going to sort of give me? Because how I am able to get the best out of that. Once you have that, so then naturally, because nothing, everything which is happening, even a person talks to you differently, and say different people may talk, because you will not find anything. Everything will be a sort of, you will be able to take it as it is, because this is what is going to happen, and you are not going to be bothered about it. It will not going to affect you. Why some people are talking like that? They don't know the manners. How, because even they don't know, because how to address people and how to tell the things. Some people may be telling, because as if as crude as possible, because that's how, he has been used to. He will not be able to give the polished words, and tell everything and all. These things will happen, but you will be able to stand everything, and finally you will be able to fold on to your particular, sort of a mooring of yours, and go about, so that, because you will find in everything there is something to be learned. The experience is what we are learning from everything. It's not that, we are going to, everything is not going to give us the comfort. Everything is not going to be as we would like to, because there could be, because body is also not, because sometimes, depending upon what I take, what I do, because the body is also getting affected. But then, because once I understand, this is what is happened, I am able to restrict, certain things, and try to able to, body is cooperating. But if body is okay only, I will be able to do it. So whatever I am thinking is through this body and mind. Hello? Yeah? No, no, I will talk to you later. So how it is, that is how, because we will be able to take it. But then very often, what happens is, this is what this mantra says. Once you get into that, unless you are able to get that particular, because you are hell bent to get certain things, because without that, the happiness will not be there. Maitunan, what it says. You are after certain things. Yena rupa rasa gandham shabdan sparsha maitunan. Without that, you will not be able to. Then only what happens when you get something of your interest and all the senses are focusing. When you get a new TV, you look at the make of it, you hear the sound, you are getting into everything and all. So for few moments, all your five senses are focused on to that, because it's not thinking about anything. After that, it will wane away. During that moment when it takes away, because then all the five senses come together. But when you reflect yourself and find layer after the layer, all your five senses feel some sort of a unexplainable, inexplicable happiness. That is what they say, you look for. That is more to be experienced than to be explained. How that, because some people we may find, any time you go there, because they seem to be always, not bothered, because not worried, and they are able to take it everything, and they smile and talk to you. Even, if you tell, something, which is likely to happen, they are not perturbed by that. They are able to take it in the sense, that comes by practice. Because they may not be doing a meditation, they may not be getting into the scriptures and all. By constant practice, that's what Krishna has done. Because it is, mind is like that. By constant practice, once you have that, that is exactly the happiness we learn to look for. Whether I am a mighty monarch or a peevish beggar on the street, doesn't matter. Once I have it, because a beggar is able to keep a smile, because he's in conditions worse than any sort of a rag picker, he is able to smile because okay, because at that point that is what has been sort of his lot. But he has not, because like certainly for him meal would be much higher than what it is, but he is not bothered about it. He is happy in that condition only. So likewise, once you are able to get that particular thing, then you are able to, what it happens, it takes away your alter ego. The ego is totally taken out. In the sense, you are remaining, with your existence as it is, uncontaminated. You are pure. You are able to take anything, because nothing is going to affect you. Because that is very difficult to achieve. That's what, because we have accumulated lot of luggages. And basically, this Upanishad is asking you to layer after the layer. Is a sense, it is not that you are opening up and knowing something. You are giving up luggages after the luggages. Your idiosyncrasies, your attitudes, your dogmas, your belief. To give up is very like, suppose, because I am totally a Sanatana person and I have been only into the scriptures and all. Someone comes and tells me, because some Protestant philosophy or some other Jewish philosophy and he is trying to explain. Certainly what happens is, because my mind, it is closed, because I think, because we know something, because this man. Once you open it up, once you make it open, because okay, they have a certain view, they have got certain points, and they have gotten certain way of approach. They are also Abrahamic religion, and they have also been time immemorial, and they have also developed their own thought process. When it is there, why can't it be? Because the openness comes, then I think you are not being confined. That's what our Upanishad says. Upanishad has opened up everything and all. It has not put any restrictions onto that. So then only, finally Upanishad went to one side, one step further, irrespective of the fact, wherever you are, which country you belong to, whatever religion or dogma you belong to. The fourth mantra said, Swapnanantam Jagritantam Cha Ubau Yeno Anupashyati. Because, when you are having the waking stage and when you are in the dream stage also encompasses, your deep sleep stage also, Sushupti. In all these things, your attitude is different. So when you are waking stage, what is that? Because you are trying to work on certain things, and then you try to get your activities, lined up in such a way, then you are able to do whatever you have planned for your living or for your learning or for your sort of, the doing other activities. And perhaps if you are in the business, your own trading activities, or you are sort of, because the religious person, how best you can go to the, you can do it and spread it to others. All sorts of things will be there. So because that is how it is taken. But this is basically our biography, autobiography. We might not be writing. Every day what we are doing is three: waking stage, dreaming stage, and deep sleep stage. Deep sleep, if you really had a deep sleep, if you feel you had such a wonderful sleep, you would not ever be remembering anything what happened to the sleep. But you will only be remembering, I had a good sleep. The consciousness of time comes only when you get up, not when you are sleeping. All your senses, they are all, because dormant, they are there, but only your consciousness is active. Even that, because you are not conscious that you are sleeping, but because your consciousness is just keeping it active so that when you get up, you are able to remember that you had a good sleep. Otherwise, even that will not be there. So if you had a disturbed sleep, then what happens? Because my, I had there was a pain in my ear, or there was, because I couldn't get, there was a throat pain was there, my legs were having a sprain or something like that. I couldn't, it was always hot, I put the AC, it was not okay, and then I switched off, I put the fan, everything can really happening. At that point of time, it's not only, that your sense objects are, but your thoughts. You had the previous day, whatever you have thought, that the thoughts have filtered down. They have not gone to the level of, because when you are sleeping, your thoughts are not sleeping. They are still there. But they are all dormant, they are in, you have deactivated and they are all there. And then at that point of time, you are totally, when you are having a deep sleep, the Upanishad says, Mandukya Upanishad, which I have said, at that point of time, you are in the lap of the Almighty. Because you are nobody, you don't feel you are so and so. You are the the wife of so and so, husband of so and so, mother of so and brother of so and I am from the family or I am from the city. Nothing is not known. At that point of time, all of us are in the deep sleep. The entire world, all of us are having the same level of dormant consciousness only is keeping you active, but then your senses are all, we are all at the same stage. The whole world is, that is universal consciousness. At that point of time, it is the cosmic consciousness. You don't have anything to think of ill of others. You don't think of any great goals, what you want to do, and nothing is there. That Sushuptasthana is the one which is almost at the closer to the final realization, if you think. But then again, next morning when you get up, then your activities start, whatever you have kept it, they all unwind themselves, come back, and then you get into the activity and all. But when you are having a dream stage, what happens? Because very often dream comes only when you are used what you have seen, because that only comes in the dream. But not necessarily, because the Upanishad says something which you have not seen will also come in the dream. You might not have seen. I think, because in one particular interaction I heard, because I think, because maybe in one of the Buddha's interaction, some lady in Indonesia, she was telling, I saw a place, the car was going and all, and the place was something like, she was telling about Ambala. She has not seen that. She is born and brought up in Indonesia or Malaysia somewhere. And I'm just seeing it is like that, how it happens. And because at that point of time, they were talking about, this regression, how, because the previous past life regression and all those things being talked about. But she said, I saw somewhere, it is there. And I also even remember, some particular road and particular house and all. How is it that? How it comes in the dream? You are not seen, because dream is supposed to be reflecting what you have seen and experienced, over a period of time. Sometimes it comes. For one person who is from a village, it never, but he suddenly thought, because he is going in broad 8-lane roads and fast moving cars, this and that and all, he saw somewhere, and why it came to me, I have not to understand. In those days, there was no TV also, long before what I'm telling you. How he got it? Because then it says there is a power which brings him. And that's why in Mandukya Upanishad it says, when you are in the waking stage, all your thoughts, even when you are thinking, they are all being sort of, he wants to, enables you to have the thought yourself. He is not bothered, but he gives only the power. He is called Vishwa. Vishwam Vishnu Vashutkaro, when Vishnu Sahasranama says that Vishwa is the one in waking stage, he gives you all the energy to work on. In the dream stage, the tejas are, in the sense, because the light, the chitta, whatever light that comes, because that it is going beyond the births, not this birth, several births earlier. And then, because, even few earlier birth, that lady might have been born in Ambala, or she might have been, living in Ambala, and she could be, she was telling like that. And the other person who was talking about, he might have been in US or elsewhere, in the country with the broad roads and all, he might have been there. When he said all these things, because he just, they couldn't believe, it can happen. So then they say it is Tejasa. Tejasa form of the God, who gives all those things. Even what you have not seen, even maybe, because some point of time you might have read in fancy story, as a child, it may come. Like Rip Van Winkle, you went into the forest, slept for something like that. It may also come. But it may also be sort of a giving indication of something is likely to happen. So likewise, because there are so many indications that comes about, but then they are necessarily not to be taken as it is. It is all given based on our minds working, the thoughts working. The thoughts are being powered up to give you the dream. And that's being done by the Tejas. When the Sushupta is there, they call it Prajna. Prajna is the one, which you're not aware of yourself. You are aprajna. But the prajna gives you, once you get up, I had a very good sleep. Till then you are in sleep, you just don't know, because I used to, because I had an experience in 1978. I was living in Calcutta, September 25th, I believe. Suddenly, the backwaters of sea and the Hooghly came into the city and it was flooded. I think 70 people might be remembering that day, even 28th, 25th September. It happened in most of the places, and in Calcutta was also affected. I was in the ground floor. When I was in a very deep sleep. I slept like a log of wood. I didn't understand anything. In morning, out of blue, because it is about to be 7, I will have to pack up and go to office. And when I just got up, my legs were, in the water. I was feeling something cold in the leg, because the water has come into the room and the cot was surrounded by the water. It was like that. So in that sleep, I just didn't realize, what has happened night. Morning when I got up, then realized, yes, because then they said, it's not rain or anything like that. Backwaters have come into the city and this is what happened. It was a big episode at the time. So then I realized, yes, it is done. Because at that point of time, when you don't know what has happened the night and you are at the bosom of the Almighty, that is the best period, I think, because you are not bothered, because the backwaters are come into and this has happened morning, how are you going to office, it's going to give all sort of problem. Nothing is there because you are slept, you are not aware of anything. That is the highest form of happiness without you being aware of it. But when you are able to access that form of happiness, even when you are awake, that is what the final realization is. This is what Swapnanantam Jagratanam Chaube Yenanupashyati. Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam. Mahantam, the one who is able to give you all these things in all the forms. But finally, when you, even in the waking stage, once you are having it called, that is called Turiya stage. Turiya, they will tell, because the Upanishad is that is the stage, when you don't have any sort of a, you are dispassionate about everything. But something good is happening, something untoward is happening, something is not so desirable, or something, because you are able to face a lot of vicissitudes, you are not bothered. That means you don't, it's not that you don't care, because you don't find any attribute of meaning. Yes, if it is to happen, it has happened. Because my thinking, the backwaters would not have stopped, coming into the house. It has anyway to come, it has come. But then morning when I got up, and then of course, because someone helped me to get some tea, this and that, and I was a bachelor, I could still manage. That's a different thing. But this is in the entire the city suffered. I also suffered. There is no something extraordinary that has happened to me because I was part of it. But I couldn't worry about it because I was in such a deep sleep. That is the power of the sleep. Vibhumatmanam matva dhirona sauchati. Because once you think that, you don't think of other things. Yes, it has happened, then you will find, because the water will go, because it took 2 days to dry out and all. Then, of course, we lived with all the problems like everyone. People with the children, small children, the school going children, the poor people, who didn't have a place to live. They are on the roadside. They also had the same problem. It's not only me. So likewise, once you have that, that is, because basically the happiness in the sense, because if you are able to help someone do it, because if you are able to give some help to others, clothes or something like that, do that. So then you are not bothered about yourself, what happened to you, why the water has come, I should have gone to your first floor house, immediately I shift, all those things doesn't come. Wherever you go, something or other, is bound to happen, and we will have to face it with all the sort of the indomitable spirit, which you are having. That's all. So next mantra is a very most important mantra. We will just start that mantra. We will just give a couple of sort of indication. Next week we will see it in great detail. This is the fifth mantra of the first 5 mantra portion which I was talking about. This is in your page number 89. Ya imam advatam Vedam Atmanam. Ya imam madvatam. Madhu is honey, you see. Madhvatam. When you say he who knows that he is the enjoyer of this honey. Enjoyer of this honey. For us, the benefits of the life what we are doing, because the comfort what we are having, the living what we are having, we take it as a madhvatam. Yeah, Imam Advatam, he won us that enjoy this honey. Atmanam Jivam Antikat. So once you know that the enjoyer of this honey is the one who is closer to you. Tava Samipe Vartate. He is always with you. He is trying to help you. He wants to protect you. He is your friend, philosopher, guide, and guard. He is always with you. But are you able to realize about him? You don't think, I have no one. My children are abroad, my relatives are there, and I don't have talking terms with a lot of others. I am alone. Why do you feel so? No, it's not that. He is always with you. Once you have that, this is exactly, because here one of the important, philosophical interpretation, Jiva Mantikat. It is close by. He is dearer to Jiva because the soul, the self, the power Atman, Paramatman is so close to you. And he is so near to you, he is trying to help you and he is trying to be with you, but you are not able to realize. He is the one, when you are happy, he is also happy. That's what last week we talked about. You make him a partner. When you are happy, because he will also be partaking in your happiness. When you are, because totally dejected, he will also be with you and he will trying to elevate you. Because after all, he doesn't want you to be rejected. He wants you to be happy always. But you should feel and you should realize that it's not that how can I do because so many things happened. Was he with me? You can think like that. But he was with you. You are not able to think like that. You are not able to access him. This is exactly Upanishad says. Once you have that, you will not fear anything, because you have got someone always with you. Why do you fear? Ya imam advatam vedam atmanam jivam antikat. Jivasya antikat. He is close by. But here the philosophical interpretation is because Jiva Antikas in the sense self and because they are one and the same, can't be said, because someone will be dear only when he is nearby and still helping you. That is how the Paramatman is being sort of taken by the theistic school. But here it says, I am always with you. Why are you worried? It is own dear Atman, the sustainer of life is with you. He is the enjoyer of all the Madhvatam in the sense he is also the one who takes all your sufferings. Honey in the sense honey will have the bees, they collect the honey, finally not to enjoy themselves. Who is enjoying the honey? Do bees keep away, take away, suck away all the honey? They collect it and put it in a beehive. But finally, who is enjoying that honey? If it is a forest, it is the animal, or if it is in the city, it's we who are enjoying the honey. It doesn't enjoy the honey, because but it doesn't. It has it stopped collecting the honey just because honey is not available to me. This is exactly the metaphor they say. You say हमने सब कुछ किया हमको कुछ नहीं मिला. अरे क्या आपको जो भी मिला है because आपके जरूरत के साथ मिला है. I think we should not take anything more than that. This is what exactly it says. Madhvatam and again, this is the one, it's a very important one. We will discuss very much in detail next week. It has got a lot of philosophical interpretation by all the acharyas. We will see that. Ishanam Bhuta Bhavyasya Tato Vijigupsate. He is the one who is only past, he is present, and he is everything. Yetat by that. It is that. So it is only, because he is partaking, is with you, and he is doing everything in you. You look up to him. Why are you worried? This is what the Upanishad says. The first month, the fifth mantra. We will see it in very much detail and all, because this is going to be giving a lot of philosophical interpretation. We will also be having the Gita verses, which is going to correspond with this particular mantra as well as this first month, 5 mantras. With this, I will conclude today's session. And we will see, we will also be having a meditation next week. I lined it up. We'll do that with this. Thank you very much. Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Punaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi, Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much. We will meet next week again. Thank you, Krishnan sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. I'll post my questions. Basically, today we're in our sleep world, we are in the absolute reality.
Yeah.
And this world is that Jivan Mithya, what you keep saying, or Jagat
Yeah,
Mithya.
because you are away from this world, you are getting into the highest realm which you can reach.
Yeah. So basically, okay. Oh, that is why that and then again you were saying something about time does not exist. That's that present moment concept. So if we are existing at
No,
every
the time
moment,
you get the sort of the consciousness of time only when you get up,
that's
not
what I'm
during the
saying. So,
sleep.
but if you are if you live at every present moment, if you are living, there's
Then
no, then there's no meaning of time. For you, time is like, okay, then
absolutely,
that is
absolutely,
basically
absolutely.
absolute word. Okay, okay.
You're transcending the time. You are transcending the time because you
Yeah,
are not giving any particular attribute of time. This
yeah.
Einsteinian world of space and time has got a reference point through which our existence. We say I lived so many years, but whereas if you take out the time, I have been living always. The existence is in the body.
Okay, teacher. So basically, this is the crux of Upanishads, huh?
Uh,
About these two worlds and concept of space time and how
how
it is
it
also,
is.
it is including effectively you're coming down to that Advait concept also.
Yeah, it is. See, it is
So,
an Advait concept also. Advait concept has got one lot of It has got what they call is Purva Paksha in the sense. Lot
oh,
of
okay.
there. Someone says I understand the experience only through body and mind.
Yeah.
Okay, because the time concept will not come only when you consider your body as an object also.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I'll discuss this later. First, let me think.
Because
Yeah.
that is I will come to that and how because that can be corrected because it is there, therefore you will not be able to have one darshana and get the idea. You will have to have all the three darshanas. One of the reasons why Shankara has sort of composed so many poems for prayer, this is the one he says highest possibility at that point of time. And when he said, because he was to counter Buddhism at that point of time, Buddhism said there is no sort of consciousness at all. It is a sunyavada. It is all, because the void, everything happens, and then it dissipates. So nothing that like a consciousness and all, but the consciousness, because either you call it the consciousness or you call it Paramatman, who gives you the consciousness all through. There is something which is there because you will not be able to understand because the Vedic authority says like that. But whereas we can't reject Buddhism as something they have not considered and all. But what they have considered is day-to-day experience, every moment of experience. Don't go on harping on the experience. If someone goes and tells Buddha there is a God, okay, I think let us meditate and find out. If someone goes, no, there is no God, yes, that is also possible. Let's do it. And because he allowed it, because there is no sort of this openness is so much is there. Then you find for yourself because there is no one telling, and then it becomes a dogma. Because if you should become a follower of someone, and without applying yourself, disapplication of self is a biggest crime. See, application, because the
Okay.
application enables us, each one of us will have to find, because if we are five, we will find a five different way of attaining because we are capable. This is what it gives us the strength and energy. Then you realize you are a master yourself and you will have to find the master in yourself. And that Upanishad enables
Okay.
irrespective of the stream. You can be Advaita, Advaita, Visishta Advaita and all. You are able to find, once you find, this is what am I. And I will tell you, how this Sariraka Mimamsam, because next week I will talk about, the Brahma Sutram and how the philosophies intertwine with each other to elevate it to the highest level that I will see. We'll see that. Thank you. I think it gives a lot
Thank
of
you.
food for thought. Food for
Yeah.
thought. Not only that, because you will find ourselves, we have not understood ourselves so much.
No one
At
wants to
least
look at ourselves. Because
it is time for us to find our own greatness.
Yeah. Like, it is frightening. That's what
Not in terms of others, but in terms of in my own vision, I should be sort of someone who should be respected. I don't have to bother about, because in my own vision, I should not be, I should be having such an attribute. I should be able to find, it is a journey and I will have to go, but there is no end to it. I will have to go on doing it. That journey I should be able to do. That is exactly it. We'll see next week, and the next 6 mantras are going to take you, madam, into a different philosophical fire moment. We will see, because totally it will sort of give us, little hazy, to start with, but then it will brighten up, as we go about. Thank you very much.
Thank you.